TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shabani Gharat. After creating fun campaigns with Sara and Saif Ali Khan, Circuit and Munna Bhai, Acko has now partnered with R. Madhavan as their voice of the customer to simplify complex insurance questions and help customers make informed decisions. Through this partnership, Acko wants to ensure that its customers can rely on the brand for a transparent and dependable insurance experience. Madhavan's role as voice of customer is to be the customer's advocate and guide, simplifying the complex world of insurance for the consumers. To tell us more about this, today on the show we have R. Madhavan himself along with Varun Dua, founder of Acko. Madhavan, Varun Dua, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's begin the conversation with you, Maddie, if I may say so. Tell us about your association with Acko, and you are the voice of consumer now for Acko. Tell us more about this.
You know, from when we were in kids, insurance has always been a mandatory aspect of our lives. You know, it's been made to sound like, you know, you have to have insurance for certain things, and it wasn't looked at as a convenience, more of a compulsion, right? And I, you know, that was a distinct opinion that I had about insurance. Then you realize that amongst all the stories and movies you saw, that insurance was something that was highly unreliable. You know, you dhar tar bhatakte rahoge before you get your money back. You know, that has been the general opinion about insurance when I was a kid. And then when we had to take vehicular insurance, we always looked at it as a pain. कि ये जबरदस्ती लेना पड़ेगा यार. Accident होने के बाद पता नहीं कौन देगा. गाड़ी ठीक होने के बाद insurance वाला आता नहीं है. So it was always considered a very futile effort. Okay, and all that you know, is a baggage that I carried when I had to talk about insurance. It's only when I started keeping a vehicle and, you know, it actually got a scratch or got dented and we gave it for insurance that we realized that there is a need for them to pay. But jumping through the hoops was so painful that most of the time you just got a small job done on your own before you even went to insurance, because the fear was, next time जाएंगे तो insurance बढ़ जाएगा because you have this. हाँ, so ये सब झंझट कौन लेगा, ऐसे भी मजबूरी में लेना पड़ेगा, you know. So let's take their insurance and keep it. Why increase the value? You know, you're never going to get. It's only when I started speaking and I started having a conversation with Varun and Acko and other people, and I started getting, let us say, more expensive cars where the repairs were actually considerable, that I realized what insurance are supposed to do, what they're actually doing, and how convenient or inconvenient it is. When I spoke to Varun, I realized that there was a completely dramatically new approach to insurance. You know, they were working first and foremost without any agent. That itself put me, you know, that gave me the jitters, because I'm like, now you don't even have a face to talk to. How are we going to get that insurance, right? But the way they are structured, the way Varun explained it to me with his entire team about how, you know, Acko looks at insurance in a completely different light, makes it much more convenient for the consumer. And a line that really had me hook, line, and sinker was that it's completely in the interest of the insurance company to pay for, you know, bona fide and valid claims, because that's when their brand equity goes up and that's when they actually get more, let us say, successful. So, and then I started looking into it and I was very keen to see how I could associate. And the approach that Varun had was so scientific that it kind of appealed to me completely.
Yeah. So now, since you mentioned there's no face online when it comes to dealing with insurance, and Varun, now you have a face to address these questions. Also, tell us, how is this association with Madhavan going to pan out in the coming days? How will consumers stand to benefit? What is in it for them? If you can share some insights on those.
There is only so much that you can do with doing a 30-second ad and trying to explain to people how this could work for them and so on and so forth. And what we needed was something or someone or some way to explain to customers what they needed to do, what they need to watch out for, how will we ensure that their claims will come through. Because frankly, if we don't pay them, we're not going to go get anywhere as a company, right? But customers need to be responsible about making the right choices and how to decide their own coverages and what to do at the point of claim and so on and so forth. And this explanation truthfully of what is right, what is wrong for them needed to be brought out to the customer. And we needed somebody who could deliver that message after genuinely understanding what we are doing and delivering that message to consumers, being that voice of the customer, looking at it from their perspective. Claim मिलेगा क्यों नहीं मिलेगा, अगर आप ये करोगे तो नहीं मिलेगा, ये coverage लोगे तो ये होगा. These are the pros and cons of the choices that you're making. Now, to be able to deliver this, we needed authenticity. We needed somebody people could trust. We needed somebody who will, pardon me for saying this, but who had that cerebral quality. I trust what's coming from them. They're a thinking person. You know, they're not just, you know, somebody who's doing a dance in a Bollywood movie, if I may say so. So Madhavan appealed to us so much. Maddie appealed to us so much as this personality who could be that voice of the customer, deliver the message to them, and also at some level, as our interactions with him have grown, Maddie have grown, the amount of questions we get fired back, which we need to respond to, because he's not happy to taking anything to consumers which he doesn't understand himself. So that keeps us right on that moral compass, if I can call it so. So it's going to be an interesting association. I think as he becomes the voice of the customer and explains to them what we are trying to do.
So he is very much involved, in this initiative, and not just like a mere brand ambassador. Maddie, what are the kind of questions that you have asked these guys?
See, this is an association that got me really excited, right? So you wanted to know why I'll be representing the consumer, right?
Yeah, because
There
you
are a lot
don't
of
do so many brand associations on a regular basis. I mean, I haven't seen you in like every second ad, as Varun pointed out, every other Bollywood celebrity that you keep on seeing in every second ad.
I think as we go along, it's going to become a big, huge responsibility for the celebrity to be able to endorse something that is worthy and something that he can relate to or is a representation of him. Okay, and and I think that the spirit of Acko and the way that Varun and his entire team are wanting to see this new venture in terms of how they're operating insurance as a module is something that I relate to completely. Okay, now what do I mean by that? For instance, if you're saying there is no face, how do I see my claim? Okay, how do I know what to do when an accident happens? Okay, I'm telling you, even you today, if you were coming to the office and you had a car accident on the way, you will have no clue what to do. कि गाड़ी साइड में रोकें, फोटो निकालें, पुलिस वाले को बुलाएं, इंश्योरेंस के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा, who do you have to call, which is the number you have to call, will my insurance be void if I don't take pictures? All these questions are there, okay? And not only with with vehicular insurance, with life insurance, with everything else that Acko is covering. So my job is to ask him the kind of questions that a common man will ask before having to choose between Acko or any other insurance, or before wanting to choose insurance in the first place that is not mandatory. So, very few people actually are happily going to choose insurance because nobody wants to invite bad times. But sometimes it's a very intelligent thing to do. So, for example, a lot of people don't know that if you take a large claim, medical insurance, for instance, and you lie on your questionnaire about the kind of discomforts or the kind of disorders that you have, then you could be in a much bigger soup when you generally have a health problem, suddenly realizing that your claim cannot be met simply because you lied. So you have to be frank so that you get a proper insurance that covers you. So all these kind of questions that I really thought that common man will have and I will have, I kept firing at them. And they had the most astonishing answers for me. And it really looked so convenient. It looked like, for example, if your vehicle unfortunately gets into an accident and it's you can take it to any store that's been approved by Acko or that they approve of. Then you get an update on your phone exactly as to what is happening, what is the cost being spent, what is the situation of your car, and when is it likely to come back to you. I wish I had all this when I first bought my car, because then driving would have become such an easy job, and you don't have to worry about other people's stupidity to get you into trouble.
What are some of the things that you learned out of this association? Because, at the beginning of the conversation, you rightly pointed out, sometimes even when you meet with an accident or there's a small dent on the car, you don't want to put it to insurance with the fear that, the next premium will be much higher as compared to the current one. So if you can share with us, what are some of the things that you learned out of, this association, some of the myths that Acko burst for you?
So let me just give you one. There are many such things, but let me give the most obvious one, right? All of us think that the insurance company saves money by not honoring the insurance. Whereas ACO team explained to me that it is in their interest to actually pay for the genuine claims so that the equity goes up and the reliability of the company goes up. They make more money as a company that is functioning properly and efficiently, as opposed to them trying to save a few bucks here and there by not giving into claims. That was the first thing. So when you realize that an insurance company actually gains by giving you money when you have a unwanted situation, the trust factor increases. There are many such things that I learned over a period of time.
Before we go, Varun, over the past couple of months, we have seen some good campaigns coming from ACO. Of course, there was the Circuit Munna Bhai campaign that we saw, in the recent past, which was released almost a month and a half ago. There was a Sara Ali Khan, Saif Ali Khan combination. So tell us more, how are all of these efforts, paying off over the past couple of months for ACO overall?
No, I think some of them, both the Sara campaign and the Munna Bhai campaign have been brilliant. I think we've recorded the highest amount of interest in our products and in our brand over the last 4 years. It's just the timing has been brilliant for us. I think such kind of campaigns really, of course, highlight the brand. But they give you that kind of attention that the brand seeks in some form. They create a lot of inquisitiveness about the brand. More people wanted to come and check you out. I think that they've done a very, very good job of. Now we are hoping with Maddie, we get those customers over the line in terms of making the right choices.
All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Varun. Thanks for joining us.
You're very kind. Thank you so very much.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are in conversation with Santosh Kumar, Country Manager for India, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Indonesia, Booking.com, on their association with ICC and how have the past few weeks with the festive season marrying the World Cup panned out for the brand.